Great to have you here on the John Frederick Radio Network, trucking the truth across America. Your Godzilla of the truth. Joining us now, Coach Scott Wachenheim, head coach, VMI Keydets football. Big game, Keydets. This is the game in Lexington. What time is it? Well, it's 1:30 on Saturday against Citadel, their rival. This is the game at home. And 1:30, I tell you what, if you can make it down there, you just go to VMI.com, VirginiaMilitaryInstitute.com. Athletics, get your tickets there, because this is going to be a great game. VMI 0-6 and Citadel 1-4. Both teams looking for this big win, but VMI tough at home, and this is going to be the game where I think it's going to be very interesting. Joining us now is head coach Scott Wachenheim. Hey, Coach, this is the game on the day in Lexington. Are you fired up?
I am fired up, John. Excited for the battle for the Shako. Obviously, it'll be a great atmosphere. People should definitely make plans to come to the game. Both they're bringing their freshman class up to cheer them on. We'll have the whole core here cheering us on. And, again, it'll be a great ball game. Always has been. The 3 years we've played them in my career thus far. Been a close game down to the wire with a lot of exciting football.
A lot of exciting football, and they have a pretty solid team. Their record hasn't shown it. I think they're better than they look. Start with their quarterback, Jordan Black.
Yeah, Jordan Black's first-year starter. He's a left-handed option quarterback, extremely tough kid, probably one of the better passers they've had there. Threw for 188 yards last week on 16 of 23, so kind of opens up their traditional option running attack with some good play-action passing. Again, they're very solid on the offensive line. They come off the ball low and hard, very hard to simulate in practice. Gifted running backs. They are balanced offensively, not between run and pass, but in who touches the ball and where they touch the ball. So very difficult to defend. Defensively, multi-pressure unit. They bring a lot of blitzes from a lot of locations. You have to be really solid in your pass protection against them, and they play extremely hard. And then special teams, they've executed extremely well, beating Mercer on the last play of the game, a kickoff return for a touchdown. So very well coached by Brent Thompson. Their kids are like our young men. They play extremely hard. They fight to the final sound. They never say die. So heck of a ball game against a very tough and talented team.
Yeah, and a couple of weeks ago, Towson quarterback Tom Flacco, who, by the way, is the younger brother of so-called quote-unquote elite quarterback Joe Flacco. Is he elite quarterback? Well, I don't know, but based on the last game against Tennessee, he looked pretty elite to me. But Coach Flacco really carved up the Citadel defense, and you look at Udinski and the arm strength that he's got and the maturation he's gone through, your quarterback, Udinski, your fast receivers. I watched some of that game, actually. They have a lot of, let's say, you've got opportunities, I think, in their secondary. Is that a fair analysis of mine?
Well, I think the Citadel defense probably learned a whole heck of a lot from that ball game. It was, the first team they played that threw the ball around a little bit. And, they're young on defense like we are. And so as the game got on, I thought they played a lot better defensively and gained confidence as the game goes on. And I think they'll be much better prepared to play us after playing that ball game. Flacco also hurt him with his legs a little bit, running the ball early. And, I think, once again, the young Citadel defense, having seen that, will be much better prepared to take on our style of offense coming into our game.
Do you look at your young quarterback doing a little more scrambling out of the pocket, maybe having some design run plays to keep that defense honest?
Yeah, we always have designed run plays in for the quarterback, and so that's part of our offensive package to keep the defense honest. I'd prefer him not to scramble from the pocket because that means we have a clean pocket. But if protection breaks down like it does, at every level of football, then obviously Reese needs to maneuver in the pocket and do what he needs to do, whether it's run the ball or operating a scramble drill that we've done since we installed the offense in spring. Teaching our receivers where to be so when Reese is moving out of the pocket that he could keep his eyes downfield and deliver the football.
Coach Wachenheim, tell our fans about your receiving team and a couple of them that are now becoming Udinski's money guys, the third down guys, where he throws the ball to them, all confidence. He knows they're going to make a play. How is that evolving?
Well, I'm really proud of the way Javion Laura has improved. I think Coach Billy Koch has done a great job helping Javion develop, as well as Coach Brian Shepard, the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. But Javion came from Schulenburg, Texas, which is a small town between Houston and San Antonio. Coach Robbins did an excellent job recruiting Javion here. His brother was in the Army at the time and told Javion what a great opportunity VMI would be for him. You know, Javion's freshman year, he showed some flashes as a receiver, and then he had a stress fracture. And, you know, his sophomore year last year didn't go as well as, you know, Javion and I had both hoped. But, you know, he really worked hard this offseason and has improved each and every week. And, you know, he had a heck of a game against Sanford last week, making some big catches. You know, Chris Thornton, I knew he was going to be a really good player when we recruited him. He was just a little undersized. He had 95 catches, I believe, his senior year in high school. And he's done an excellent job of improving and picking up the offense. Really does suit him well. Rohan Martin is a young man from Colonial Forge, Virginia, who we had high hopes, and he continues to impress. He's overcome, he had a defect that he had to have surgery on earlier in the season that he's overcome and is playing at an extremely high level and is doing a great job leading our receiving corps. And then Jake Harris is a freshman from Pennsylvania, tall young man who's really done a good job at our wide position. A young man that you haven't seen make plays yet but does every day in practice is another true freshman from Richmond, Virginia, Michael Jackson. And then another young man playing is Devon Humphrey. Devon is from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and he's done a heck of a job, playing every position at receiver. And then last but not least is Kendrick Jackson, who is from Atlanta, Georgia. He missed games this season recovering from a meniscus repair that he had after spring ball. And Kendrick is now back at 100% full speed, and we need him with the broken foot injury Mason Dermont suffered last week at Sanford.
Are you going to get Mason back, or is he out for this season?
I hope we get him for sure. The original prognosis was that we weren't, but Mason is a fast healer and a tough guy, and modern medicine has some unique ways of healing men right now. So we're hoping to get Mason back before the end of the season. I told him he is our team captain. He is going to go out for the coin toss against this game, and every game as we finish up the season, because his leadership is essential to the way our team plays.
Coach, you only got about 100 yards on the ground last week. All told, Corey Britty had 36, Quan Myers 34, Newman 24. So you guys never had really any ground game going. Citadel, though, you look at them, they're always tough on the run. How do you mix that in and change that a little bit?
Well, I don't know if we need to, John. I mean, as you look at things and you try and analyze things for how to win ball games, it's best for your football team is how do we best move the ball down the field and score points at VMI? And so you look at Citadel and VMI, and they're total opposite ends of the spectrum in one way, in that Citadel's a running team and a pass team second, and VMI is a passing team and a run team second. But we're similar in that we use the entire width of the field, and we get the ball in multiple people's hands. And some of our pass plays for us are just running plays. We throw a hitch out there that's like them pulling the ball in the option and pitching the ball to an option halfback. So, running the ball, I thought we did a much more efficient job of running the ball, although we're not getting the yardage that you would like. So you get your backs out. So we had 124-yard gains rushing in the game, but, we had lost yardage of 43 yards, which takes us down to 81. So I do think we're doing a better job running the football as the season progresses. I think Corey and then, Alex Ramsey, who was nicked up a little bit, comes back to full health this week. Give us a very good threesome back there running the ball. And if that's what the Citadel gives us, I think we'll be very effective running the ball in the game.
Talk to us about your defense. Last week, obviously a tough game. Whenever you give up 73, it's not something to write home about. Your defensive coordinator, what's been your conversations with him and the team when they get overmatched defensively the way they did last week?
Well, first of all, Tom Clark is an excellent defensive coordinator, and he's produced some of the better defenses in VMI history over the years we've been here. If you look back at the stats and comparatively over the whole history of VMI football, last week we had a difficult challenge in Sanford and Devlin Hodges, and they're an outstanding football team, and we made a decision that we were going down there to play the game to win and not to just play the game close. And we made a decision to get in some two-man coverage, which would man the receivers underneath and have two safeties over the top to provide us a backstop if somebody happened to get beat deep, that we'd have a second safety. And, Calvin McKnight made two unbelievable catches. I mean, just flat-out unbelievable catches that you go, wow. I mean, those are tough to defend in the game. And Devlin Hodges was on the money. I mean, he played one of his better games of the year and was very sharp in the throw game. And then they also broke a 66-yard run against us where, we had a backstop player there to make the play, and the young man made our guy miss. So we're young on defense. We graduate all four starting linebackers to other schools, and, not to other schools, but to graduation. And, Brian Lipscomb, a graduation transfer. And so we're breaking in some new guys at those positions, and that takes time. And, we just told the defense, hey, this is what we did good in the game. And Elliot Brewster, who's one of those new linebackers, had 11 tackles, a half a sack, an interception, and a TFL, and really played one of his better games of the year. A true freshman safety, Ethan Castleberry, had 10 tackles and a tackle for loss. And, A.J. Smith, who's having a great season for us, had 9 tackles. And then Uzoma Padua, who's having a great season for us too, had 6 tackles in the game. And, again, we've asked him to, and 2 quarterback hits, but we asked him to do some things that are tough, play some man coverage. And a couple times, Sanford, who's very good at passing the ball, made some good plays. So it's a totally different challenge this week. So we showed them the good plays from Sanford. We showed them the plays that, hey, this is what we need to correct to stop these big plays from happening. But now we got to change our mindset, play a different style of offense, and play a different style of defense to try and stop Citadel's option running attack.
VMI, Keydets, at home. And this is just a game you really don't want to miss. This is the game of the season at home, Saturday, October 20th in Lexington. 1:30 p.m. is kickoff here across all of John Fredericks Radio affiliates, which is WHKT AM 1650 in Hampton Roads, WMPH AM 1010 and 100.1 FM, Hampton Roads, Richmond, 92.7 FM, AM 820 AM, and then starting next week, 100.5 FM. Make it to Lexington. You're going to have a beautiful day there. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Get your tickets now. The Keydets squaring off against Citadel. The Keydets 0-6, looking for their first win. Citadel 1-4. This is always a great game. They're always very, very close. And the home atmosphere next week with Coach Walk's team in Lexington at VMI is going to be absolutely electric. So you definitely want to check this out. Coach, good luck. I know you're really fired up about this. This is the game. It's at home. It's going to be very exciting. Best of luck on Saturday, Coach.
Thank you, John. It is the game. Battle for the Silver Shako. Both teams will be fired up, giving their best. Both the core will be here for us cheering, and then again, their freshmen are coming up. You guys should come to the game. It'll be a great ball game, fun atmosphere, and cheer on the Keydets. And we're looking for our first Silver Shako in 16 years. They've won the last 11 games over a 16-year span, and our kids are fired up. They know how special this game is, and they know what a life-changing victory this will be.
It's time.